Welcome back. It's the DMV Weave Doctor located right here in Bowie, Maryland. All right, welcome. All right. And today we're just going to have a very brief live. A lot of people are trying to figure out the different forms of hair replacement. Okay. Hair replacement is a type of procedure that is, catered to women who suffer from alopecia. Now, there are many forms of hair loss, and it's not always, some people hair loss can come from, different type of relaxers or different type of poor styling options. While some forms of alopecia come from genetic different dispositions, things that you have acquired throughout the years because you had a poor diet and all those different types of things. So there are many different types of alopecia. And I think the biggest stigma with alopecia, a lot of people do not like to put a name on their alopecia. Okay, honey, I'm finding out nobody want to have alopecia. Okay, but baby, it is nothing to feel, ashamed about. And so, with the hair replacement, there are so many different options available. Some people have resorted to doing the complete glueless options. Some people like to get the different tapes and adhesives installed around the hairline to get everything, all nice and uniform together. One thing, when you use the different types of tapes and adhesives, you definitely can look to having a more longer lifespan of the actual unit itself, as far as the duration and coming back to your stylist. If you do those, and some people when they're purchasing these different units or hair loss wigs online, those are not necessarily, in most cases, not meant specifically for someone that has alopecia. So a lot of times you may have to alter those units. So you have to take it to a hair loss specialist, and they may be able to, make different modifications to your unit. Okay. So you can try that. And some clients, they buy the wigs online from Temu, okay, and all those different places. And then they find out that they're not, able to fit on their head properly. They're going through a lot of slipping and sliding. So if you want to try to avoid that, then I would suggest you go to your local hair replacement or hair loss specialist in your area. If you're located in the Bowie, Maryland or DC metro area, you can come and visit us, because with these different type of procedures, if you get it installed by a hair loss specialist, number one, it's going to be pretty much secure to your head. You're not going to have to worry about, you see these crazy videos on Instagram where the hair is flying off the client's hair and it's just, just going up in the air. Okay. So you don't want to, now some clients, if they want to save money, they might suggest going to some of those different wig companies, affordable wig companies online that's not catering towards alopecia, and purchasing the wig and pretty much just taking it at face value to see what's going to happen from that. So that is just some of the risks that you take when you order online. Also, nowadays, with the different trends that are available now, there's a lot of bait and switch. So sometimes the actual company is showing you a picture of one hair piece or unit from a selfie that was created online, and then they're giving you another one. Okay, baby, I've been setting people up the last couple of years. I had so many clients that tell me that they purchased certain units online. They thought they were going to get a specific item. However, when it arrived, it was nothing compared to what they were advertised. So that is just something that you have to realize if you're going to order these different units and things online. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. And if you're dealing with alopecia, especially if you're trying to go glueless, that can pose a problem. So some of the different hair replacement special, different type of hair replacement services, they have a lot of different variety. There's, not everybody wants to get an actual wig or a hair unit, so there are options available for that. We now have partnered with different companies. They have different glueless attachment pieces. We're able to facilitate that at a more, to accommodate our clients who want to go glueless and still have a secure unit on their head. So there's now the technology is just amazing. So there's a lot of different options. Even if you have hair, sometimes you can integrate your own natural hair into the different type of units and or hair loss pieces or systems that you desire to get. Another thing is when you go to a hair loss specialist, they can pretty much customize the unit exactly to your liking. They can measure your head. They can put a mode. We have some services where we actually have a mode, a scalp mode for our clients, and we remove it, and then come have them come back several weeks or months later, and they are able to get a very snug fit. So there's a lot of different things like that. Also, when you get the hair replacement, the more medical wigs and more expensive units, they typically have a better construction as far, especially now, if you get the dome cap units, that is a very popular style as well. We do those as well, but those are not going to, still, if you want a little bit more structure, then you might want to send off the unit for at least a good, sometimes it can take 12 weeks or more for that. Now, the weave doctor does her own customizing. However, with those different type of units that have a more free flowing, like the dome caps, those are not going to be as structured as the full medical units, which where we have to send off and everything like that. And another thing about going to a hair loss practitioner, you get to specify all of your needs, wants ahead of time so that your practitioner can give you the best option. We have our clients fill out a long questionnaire. Some people say it's too long, but at least we're able to get an understanding on what the client is looking for. Number one, if they're looking to remove the unit daily, or if they're looking for temporary or long term wear. So these are just some of the options that a lot of people look at before, purchasing a unit, or think of some other things. What color do they want? What style? If you go to a hair replacement specialist, they can give you the complete look. Okay, honey. All right. So that is just so, so, so important. And I find um, the more customized your unit is, the more natural and more comfortable the client feels. That's why we suggest with all of our clients, bring pictures of the unit in the style that you are looking for. Okay. Sometimes when people are purchasing things online, you just get whatever that they have out there. But if you work with a hair replacement specialist, they can pretty much select everything for you down to the color, the fit, the size, even the quality of hair. And that's another thing. When you buy a hair replacement system, it's going to pretty much be a complete upgrade from the units that you buy, especially the very affordable ones that you buy online. Number one, those units are going to last a long time. A lot of people out here are purchasing units every 1 to 2 months when they have hair replacement systems that can last months and months at a time, So you're going to save money over time. Some people look at the bottom dollar like, but we have different payment plans and things like that available so that you could be able to pay off your unit, in appropriate fashion. Some people, I think they have like 6 months options. Child, they have even 1 to 2 year options for those who are trying to purchase a unit without, paying for everything up front. Okay. So we hope that was able, I was able to help, give you a little bit more understanding upon that. Make sure to DM the Weave Doctor. Follow us down on the comment section or the About Us page. If you want to interested in booking a free consultation to find out more, so that we can do a virtual consultation. That's one thing we like about this virtual thing, baby. We can deal with clients all over. We have had several clients. We've been blessed to have a lot of clients to travel and take, so that they could come out to the Weave Doctor and have us serve them to whatever their needs. Now, we do advise to make sure that you book within a timely fashion, and that if so like if you're coming out here, do not do it within like a 2 week period. In most cases, we have accommodated people to do that, but it's best if you give it some time, especially if you're not from this area, if we're not able to see you in person. All right, for your consultation. All right, but thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. We're going to be coming back a little bit more regularly, answer more questions, try to think of some more video ideas, okay? All right, well, thank you guys. It's been a fabulous time and a fabulous show. But the Weave Doctor has got to go. See you next time. Bye.